Good day from Kamakura, Japan. On this Wednesday, December 1st. Welcome to December. Had a bit of a rough night weather-wise. Typhoon-like winds, heavy rain. Most of the garden has held up pretty well, except for over here. My Weber grill has fallen over and a chair is blown over. But everything else looks pretty good. Let's go down and take a closer look. Okay, it's still raining, so I'm not going to go out just yet. Very warm morning, about 17 degrees Celsius. And you can see the fall colors. Normally we don't get them so vivid as this. It's about as colorful as it gets. The autumn foliage. It's called koyo in Japanese. Very nice this year. And Spunky's asleep by the fire, snoring. What do they say? Let sleeping dogs lie. Good morning. How are you? You tired, huh? Yeah. Well, this is the Orostakis japonica, a succulent, still flowering very nicely. Our Christmas cactus is blooming. In about a week or so, we'll be in full bloom. And its little partner here is also beginning to bloom. And our papaya is doing well. I took a hint from Anna in Jamaica. Suggested I put a little netting or something around it, so I tied this little mesh net. So hopefully that will help protect it somewhat, keep it from falling. But overall, it looks pretty good. Okay, I think the rain has let up enough. I can come out here and see the damage. No damage. And my chair is just fine. So we had a nice drenching for the tulip bulbs. Let's set them in very nicely. You can see our mint is growing back. It'd be nice to have some mint during the winter. The carrots are coming along. The radishes, not so well. We'll see what happens. Okay, everything else looks okay. This tower's a bit too heavy to blow over, so I wasn't worried about that. Have a nice look at our rose bush here. Might do some trimming next year. The pepper's looking okay. And the cabbages, yeah, a nice drenching for the cabbages and the broccoli. A little hard to see anything right now, but all's well. And you can see the garlic is already growing. There's one here, another over here, and here. And the blueberry patch. All's looking good. So it should clear up later on today. We may get a few more downpours, but should be sunny by afternoon. We shall see. So on a day like this, I think I'll be in the kitchen making some butternut squash soup and roasted butternut squash. Now, Spunky doesn't like to come out in the rain. Can't blame him. Where is he? Ah, you're in my chair. How you doing? Yeah, this looks promising, doesn't it? Yeah, beautiful day. All right, look how big these cabbages are getting. And the broccoli. Damn it. No. Damn it. Boy, it feels like a spring day. This is rather odd for the 1st of December. Okay, today it's butternut squash. I'm going to be making a soup, plus I'm going to be roasting some. There's a few things I want to tell you about it, so come in a little bit closer. So as you can see here, this butternut squash has some blemishes on it, and a few nicks. It hasn't pierced the skin, and that's good. But I'm going to use this one first. This one also I'm going to use right away because it has a nick here, and some of the innards have oozed out a bit. There's a nick here as well. Whereas this one here, there's not a blemish on this at all. So this I'm going to hold on for a few more weeks, and maybe a few more months. Okay, I'll show you how I'm going to begin cutting this. I'm using some parchment paper just to keep things a bit neat. So I'm just going to cut the top off. And I don't want to waste too much of the skin and flesh. And I'll cut the bottom similarly. Gives me a nice, sturdy, hopefully sturdy stand. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut these into more manageable sizes here so that I can peel them. As you can see, I like to use a cleaver because I have rather big hands, and the cleaver gives me more control. And I'm going to quarter this. And these more broader ones, where all the seeds are, I'm just going to cut in half, and these I will roast. These will be for the soup. And these that are quartered, I'm going to peel them. Okay, let's see how easy it is to peel. I'm going to peel it down to just beyond where the white pithy part is, and the color starts to show through. And by the time you get to the last one, your technique gets a whole lot better. But I'm down to the last quarter. Okay, looks good. And here, I'll take the seeds out of this one here. I may save the seeds and see if I can plant them next year. And I'll do the same for the rest. Okay, we'll do some cleanup and then some seasoning. And this is why I like the parchment paper. It makes cleanup quite easy. And lay down some fresh parchment paper. And I'll start chopping this into cubes. Careful now. Some of these I can freeze and save for later. So let's see here. I think I'll take about half. The other half I'm going to freeze and put in this Ziploc bag, labeled, and dated 12/21. So, there we have that. And next I'm going to spray these with avocado oil. And here as well. And I'm going to use some seasoning. My trusty Creole seasoning here. So some of that will go on top. And some of my magic salt, garlic. This way when I make the soup, I don't have to do too much seasoning later on, just final touches for the seasoning. And a little bit of magic salt pepper. Just a sprinkle. And I've come out to get some rosemary and some sage and some thyme. So we'll start with the thyme here. As I did with the mushroom soup, I'll just lay the branches in. Too much trouble to try to separate the leaves from the stem. Just want to infuse the flesh with fragrance and aroma, hence flavor. Okay, and another spray of the avocado oil. And I'm going to add a little bit of nutmeg, just a sprinkle, and cinnamon, just a little bit. Give this a good mix. The sugars from the butternut squash will add sweetness to it. Simply add the cubes around the halves. Okay, so here we have everything ready. Okay, I've preheated the oven to 230 degrees Celsius and check on it from time to time. Okay, let's see how the butternut squash is doing. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. It's nice and soft. Okay, the cubes I'm going to put back in the oven. I want them to crisp up some more. But the pulp of the butternut squash in the halves are ready. I'm going to scoop that out once they cool down a bit. Okay, in the meantime, I'm going to air fry here some chicken wings minus the drumettes. I've put some seasoning on them, and yeah, so I'll fry these up, and I'll get the soup going as well. Okay, I have the air fryer preheating to about 180 degrees centigrade. Okay, so this should be done right about the time the butternut squash cubes are finished. Okay, on to the soup next. So I'll just scoop out the flesh. Okay, let's check on the chicken. A few more minutes. Okay, more of our chicken stock. And later we'll add the cream. Okay, I think the chicken's done. Looks good. Let this cool over here. Okay, the soup I'm going to bring to a near boil. And then I'll hit it with an immersion blender. I'm going to turn off the heat just for safety's sake and give this a spritz with the immersion blender. Okay, I think that's all blended. Okay, time next to add the cream. I'm going to add just half of the cream. Watch the color change. The cubes look good. I think they're done. Let's try one for good measure. They're still soft. You can see on the bottom they're nice and caramelized. Very tasty. Okay, let's taste the soup. It's a beautiful color. That is delicious. Very creamy, sweet, savory. Oh, that's very nice. So here we have it. Butternut squash soup, baked butternut squash, with air fryer chicken. Well, thanks for joining me once again. This time for a wonderful butternut squash meal. Wherever you are, have a wonderful day. Till we meet again, do take care. Bye-bye.